You know who we are. This is this convention's guest of honor. I am the fan guest of honor, but she is the guest of honor. And one of the reasons she is because she has been a very important force in San Diego, well, in comic fandom, just not in San Diego, not just in San Diego, but in comic fandom and conventions and publishing in general. Would you welcome Jackie Estrada? Was there anyone here who wasn't here for the panel we had in this room an hour and a half ago? Okay, so we got to go through some of that stuff again. All right, Jackie.
Okay, do I need a microphone or can I just talk like this?
Okay, I think we're okay.
Yeah.
If you can't hear, move up here. Tell us, before you ever got involved with Comic-Con, who were you? Where were you in your life? What were you doing? And what were your aspirations?
Well, I pretty much grew up in Chula Vista here, south of San Diego. And I was an avid reader. And I read science fiction. I bought Mad Magazine every month. And I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but when I got into high school and worked on the school paper, writing and journalism seemed to be up my alley, and I actually did total rip-offs of Mad stuff for articles for the paper, stuff like that. And when I was in junior high, I had a pen name, Rapid D. Mize. So I was already morbid at that time, but I read Richard Matheson and Ray Bradbury and Robert Bloch and every volume of the fantasy and science fiction magazine collections, everything I could get in the library that was mysteries and science fiction, stuff like that. When I was in high school, a fellow student, Davey Estrada, we were in the band together. He was a year younger than me, and we started going out and doing things together. We had all these mutual interests that were all kind of pop culture interests, and I think it was at a thrifty drugstore or something, and there was a comics rack, and they had, it might have been an X-Men comic, and I said, oh, that looks interesting, we picked it out. Anyway, this was the mid-1960s, 65. We got into following Marvel Comics to the point of not only going to the Chula Vista newsstand every new magazine day and buying every Marvel, DC, Richie Rich, Charlton, whatever came out, but we would, when we were in college, we would once a week go downtown San Diego, and we would go to used bookstores there and buy, all paperbacks of science fiction things, but we would also go to a place called Ye Olde Magazine Shoppy. And it was back issue magazines. You'd go get your Saturday evening posts and your lives and your looks and, popular mechanics and things. But they did have, behind the front counter, if you asked for comic books, they had paper bags, grocery bags, that would say Avengers or Spider-Man or Fantastic Four on it. And then that would be back issues of those comics in there. So we'd say, can we see Fantastic Four? And Davey would have a list of the things that we wanted to fill in. These were not great condition comics. They were ones that plus they marked on the front of each one of them 35 cents. Then we took to driving up to LA about every 6 months and going to Hollywood Boulevard and going to Larry Edmunds' movie memorabilia bookstore. We went to Collector's Bookstore, and we did, I think there was a Pickwick or one of those. Yes, became Beagle. So we hit all of the bookstores, and there was a place called Cherokee Bookshop that in the back and up some stairs was a guy named Bert Bloom, brother of the owner of the store, and he had his little office there that was lined with comics, and he sat behind a desk, and he had old comics. He had Golden Age and Silver Age, and then he also had, before you went into his office, there were just bins of old comics that were 20 West cents each, 5 for $1, and they'd be Walt Disney's Comics and Stories and Little Lulu and stuff like that. So we'd go up and we'd get, you know, $20, $30 worth of the quarter comics, and then we'd go in and we'd say, you know, you have such and such and such and such. So we were fans, and then we started writing letters. I have correspondence in my files with Steve Ditko and Jim Steranko. I have a drawing that he did of Nick Fury that he doesn't want anybody to see because it's, you know, foreshortened Kirby kind of thing. So we were fans, and when I found out, saw some kind of ad for there being a comic convention in San Diego, I was already married to Davey, an adult college graduate, working full-time for a book publisher. And so I was not like most of the folks that were attending the show, which was a lot of teenage boys. But I did go for one day, and Davey didn't go with me. I just went on my own, and I want to see Jack Kirby, I want to see Ray Bradbury.
So on Saturday of the convention?
Yeah.
That's the day I went to.
Because I worked 5 days a week, so that was the
But you
day.
didn't go on Sunday or Monday, it was a 3-day convention.
Yeah, so that was my first one, and I've been to all of them ever since. The second and third ones, I think I just went for one day, but starting in about 73, I went all day for all of them.
What were your impressions of that first convention? I remember my impressions of that. We were both there at the same time at the same convention. What were your impressions of that day?
Well, I can remember the variety of stuff that was there already, because there was a display of pictorial cartoons from the Union Tribune. And I remember that Mark Hannerfeld was there doing something, you know, talking about CC Comics. And the one thing that really sticks in my mind was that there were a lot of handicapped people there. And I was thinking, you know, this is, I can see fans, you know, the wish fulfillment of superheroes and being able to do all those things, and it's even more so if you have disabilities and stuff. But I was kind of stuck in my mind that, you know, saw a lot of wheelchairs and people with kind of crutches and stuff like that. But, you know, mostly I said, how cool is this? That you can go see Ray Bradbury, you can go see Jack Kirby. And, you know, a lot of people ask me, why did you know, keep coming back to the show? And it wasn't necessarily because of the stuff or the programs, but the creators, getting to meet the creators and talk to the ones that, you know, I read those Ray Bradbury books. I mean, Robert Bloch came, got to meet Robert Bloch. Theodore Sturgeon I became friends with, and this guy adored his stuff. And Carl Barks, met Carl Barks. We were huge Barks collectors. So,
What were you at this point? Now let's say it's the day of the first day of the convention. What is your profession?
I worked for a textbook publisher that published psychology textbooks related to Psychology Today magazine. So they were very designy.
Editorial work?
Yeah, I was in those days, jack of all trades, production editor, copy editor. We did things, in those days it was still hot type with film, and, you know, I learned every production method of everything, you know,
All the methods, they don't work, if they
from
don't use it anymore.
1969 on. I've gone through every era with the headline machine that you went in the closet to, letter by letter, make a headline and scratch on lettering, and, you know, using different kinds of waxers to wax your stuff and paste it down. So, yeah, I worked through 1975 for this textbook company, and then it was bought by Sid Davis magazines for Psychology Today, and so they just fired everybody who worked in the other divisions, and I became a freelance editor, and I was a freelance editor from then on. So I still edit college textbooks as my main source of income.
Did you have any aspirations at this time to get involved professionally in the comic book industry or the science fiction book industry, or anything, any place where they produce the work you like to read?
One of the things that Davey and I talked about doing, we were interested in so many things, and we thought other people would be I still have in my closet file cards that Davey made of topics, and file folders with articles in them about different, animation and TV and movies and noir, and, different kind of pop culture topics, and they were going to be in our magazine, and we were, really coming up with outlines and plans, chapter by chapter, and it's something that never came to be. But because of that, we wrote to a lot of people and asked if they want to be involved in it or that kind of thing.
I'm not yawning because this is just because of all that writing script. Tell us about getting into the world of the Comic-Con, getting inside beyond being a paying attendee. At what point did you cross that line?
Well, I would say the first actual volunteer thing I did for Comic-Con, which was volunteered for me by Shell, is that Davey and I were at the El Cortez, standing in front of the Dawn Room, which had the art show in it, and minding our own business. And Jill Dorff, who we don't know, just comes up to us and says, "Are you busy right now?" Well, no. Well, the guy running the art show, Clayton Moore, has to leave for a little while. Could you just watch the room while he goes away? I said, okay, sure. Well, earlier in the day, we had met Theodore Sturgeon, and we were so excited, and Davey wanted his autograph, and he had him sign on the back of his badge, because that was the closest piece of paper he had. And when he put it back in his badge, the autograph was there. So we're just, waiting, and Clayton finally comes back. We don't know him, he doesn't know us, and he comes up. Davey Estrada, like 5'6", curly hair, he was 25 years old. Clayton Moore comes up to him, Mr. Sturgeon, oh, I'm a big fan of your work, I'm so excited to meet you. Blah, blah, blah. No, you have no concept of who Mr. Sturgeon is if you think this guy is Mr. Sturgeon. So that was my first volunteer work. But I was also freelancing as doing articles for magazines. And for instance, I wrote an article about Burt Bloom and Cherokee Bookstore for Grit, the family newspaper. And I wrote articles that were syndicated newspaper articles about pop culture stuff. So I queried Rolling Stone magazine and I said, would you be interested in an article about Comic-Con in San Diego, because it has all kinds of things that I think your readers would be interested in. They were doing a lot of variety at that time. The editor said, sure, go ahead. So I got a hold of Richard Butner and I said, I want to interview some people involved in putting on Comic-Con because I want to write this article. And he said, well, why don't you come to our next organizing meeting and you can see what we do. And so I go to the meeting and I'm listening into all the stuff going on. And they're talking about that they need somebody to be involved in doing PR for the show. And next thing I know, I'm doing PR with Jeff Gell for Comic-Con, and they changed an editor at Rolling Stone, and the new person's not interested. So first thing I did was PR stuff. And over the next few years, I ran the information booth, and some of the PR stuff. I was such a gung-ho PR person that I actually got a blurb in Playboy in their little news section about Comic-Con because Harvey Kurtzman was going to be at the show, and so I could get a tie to somebody that Hugh Hefner knew. So I really, took that job serious, especially as I had a journalism degree. But that was my early role.
Why did you want to do this stuff?
I am a natural born editor.
Okay, but there's lots of things in this world you could be editing.
And I edited psychology books. And psychology, abnormal psychology, obstetric nursing. So here I get a chance to interact with the creators who created all of my favorite things. And I thought the Comic-Con was a great thing. I just thought, what an opportunity. I could just go and I could see Bob Clampett. I love Bob Clampett's cartoons. I can meet him. I can meet his wife. I can see his daughters running around in their outfits for Rocky Horror.
So at this point, you just want to meet these people?
Yeah. I was.
Was there any goal besides just meeting your favorite creators? Did you think done for Comic-Con over the years? Just give me job descriptions, not necessarily in order.
Okay, well, the thing that I did the most prior to 1990 was edit souvenir books. First time I think was 75. I helped Shell editing some of the material for the souvenir book. Up a little in 76, then 77 I took it on. This is the 1977 souvenir book. The Alex Nino cover, which David Scroggey acquired for us because he was repping Alex at the time. This is the only one that was ever comic book size because Mike Friedrich, who did Star Reach, could gang it on his press with one of his comics that are the same size. So if we did this format, we could get a really good deal on that. And then I did the 78 one, which has a Horace Vallejo cover. And at that point, we were doing, type on a selector typewriter and print it out and put glue or paste or wax on them, do the layouts and cut it all up and all that kind of stuff. And then I stopped doing that because I became a photographer. And I was official photographer from 79 to 82. And I was really, really big into photography during that period. I had a dark room and I was making, prints that were in some shows and things like that. So that I said I don't want to be involved in anything at Comic-Con except that. Then in 1982 I went to the con and this was the souvenir book. A newsprint, autographs, blank page on the back.
Shell's handwriting at the top.
And an interview with Sheldorf in it, and just things, I guess they decided at the last minute to even do one. They had decided they didn't have enough money to print one, so they just threw this together. And Sheldorf, Q&A by Malcolm Schwartz. And the artwork was just things in Shell's file. So I said, okay, I'm going to come back. I have to do the souvenir book, it's got to be done right. And so the next one, the one I did was 1983, and this is something that I think I introduced, was the idea of having themes for programs and things like that. So I said, okay, theme for the program book is the 60s. So that gives you, instead of just everybody sending in a pinup saying, hi, San Diego Con from so-and-so, people did themed things. And, Dave Sim did the Beatles, and there's articles by Clay Geardes about the 60s as far as undergrounds. Archie Goodwin did collaborate on a cover about being in San Diego with their two characters, so that was a fun art direction thing to do. And one of the other things I did is, most of the time now, covers for souvenir books for comic conventions are corporate covers, It's a Marvel artist doing Marvel characters, a DC artist doing artist doing DC characters. I actually went to artists and gave them a concept and we worked out. This was Bill Sienkiewicz's cover for the 1989 book. So this was actually, I have the original, it's a collage. Each square is hand painted and then pasted on to Upward to be the cover.
How large is the original?
And this was a, let's do a greetings from a postcard style thing. And then all the characters popping out were ones that had some kind of anniversary that year. And we had to get permission to do all the characters. But interestingly enough, David Willingding is the guy that I asked to do this. And David had a studio, and he was doing greeting cards and things like that that were pop culture things, and they were a lot of fun. Well, he's not the one who did the cover. Bill Morrison did the cover. He was working in David's studio. So this is the first time I ever dealt with Bill or even knew he existed. Another couple of covers here. One is Bill Stout. I said, let's do the future in San Diego, but this is the freeway. staples and pulling them out. This one, Ken Stacy did take off on Saturday Evening Post covers. And then we have the Frank Miller cover, which was hard to get, but it's a new Harley. So I really thought it was important to do something that was specifically for the program book and not for, oh, greetings from this Marvel character, or it's this anniversary of that DC character. Okay, so what else did I do that I'm proud of? One is in '77, we had our first Robert A. Heinlein blood drive. And that came out of the fact that Davey and I went in 1976 to Kansas City for a World Science Fiction Convention. And Robert Heinlein was the guest of honor, and he had a life-threatening illness, and what had saved his life was blood donations for a very rare blood type he had. So blood donation became his big cause. So he said, if you want my autograph at this show, you have to donate blood. I thought, boy, we'd really like to have Robert Heinlein at our convention. So I went back and I said, can we tell Robert Heinlein we're going to do a blood drive if he comes? And the board said, well, it's worth a try. And he said yes, and he came, and David Scroggie was the first coordinator of the blood drive, and it has been there ever since. It's now the second biggest source of event for blood in San Diego after the San Diego Chargers. In 1986, I think it was, we were at the CPAC, the old convention center, and it was the first day of the show, and all long lines of people registering to get their badges, and I see Sergio, and he's standing in the line there, and he's got portfolios, and he's like this, and I'm going, why does Sergio have to stand in that line over there? It doesn't make any sense. Why don't we have a separate registration for the professionals? They can send in ahead of time that they're coming, and we will have everything ready for them. All we have to do is come over and pick up their badge. So I was the first, what they call pro liaison at the time, but it was what's become pro registration now. And then also around that same time, in that convention center, there were rooms that could be kind of added on with a breakout wall in the exhibit hall, and they had 3 rooms. One had Mile High Comics, one had American Comic Company, I think, and whoever was supposed to have the third one bailed, so it was just an empty place with a bunch of tables in it. And I'm looking in there, and all of a sudden all these artists are sitting in there drawing. Because a table I can draw. So I said to the company, why don't we make an official area where artists can sit and charge them money to do that, and then they will be motivated, to come and be in that area and be able to interact with their fans. So when I started Artist Alley, there were 18 tables, and at each table there were 3 to 5 people. I figured, okay, no one wants to sit in a spot all day, every day at the show, but if there's 3 chairs there, and people, okay, I'll do 10 to 2, I'll do 2 to 4, so they could all take turns being in their spots. And I think we charged them $35 or something like that for Artist Alley space. And then we had one table that was the autograph table. So that would be where we put, a Stanley or Frank Miller or something like that, and the lights could go out a door. So those are 2 things that are now continuing with the show that I was involved in getting instituted. So those are things I'm proud of. And then, of course, since 1990, I've been the administrator of the Will Eisner Comic Industry Award. So that has been Desmond, the executive director of Comic-Con, says, I'm going to Chicago, you want to go with me? And I said, sure. I've gone to press. This would be fun to just go to another convention, see what it's like. She was working at Bob Chapman's Cable selling t-shirts. And so we went to a DC party, and this guy comes up and tapped me on the shoulder. And I said, yes. He said, are you Jack Estrada? He said, I just want to thank you for accepting my artwork, for putting in the souvenir book. Because you sent me a postcard saying you're going to use it, and I'm so excited because I was so worried that I wouldn't go in there. And I said, oh, you're welcome. So we kept just kind of running into each other during the show, and he had his friend with him, Russell, and we would, chat and talk. So after I got home to San Diego and the Comic-Con was going to be in a month, I said, that was a really nice guy. I think I'm going to give him a call. And so I called him every other day practically, saying, say, when you're coming to San Diego, there's this chocolatier called Toysher Chocolatier. It's right by Bloomingdale's. If by any chance you lived in Brooklyn, if you get into New York before you come to San Diego, you go to that chocolatier and buy me certain chocolates that have the toffee lining in between the outside and the inside, and I'll gladly reimburse you. So he's telling his friends, well, Jackie Estrada called me. I guess she's so nice, she just calls people. And they're going, I think they marked the other reasons, Jackie. And so...
Were there?
As I told people at the time, I'm 43 years old. I don't have time to mess around, I see something, So he and his friends came to con early that year. They were staying in a suite in a Hotel San Diego on the top floor. And so Faye and I, when they came in, we went up to their suite, and he had gotten me the Toysher Chocolatiers, and he said, oh, let's all go to the Panda Inn at Burton Plaza and have some dinner. So we walk over there, and we get a table, and that goes to sit down someplace, and the other people are wise, and they're like, oh, your seat's over here, next to Jackie. And then, after, we all have dinner together, then we walk back to the hotel, and I go, my car's around the corner, it's in the dark. It'd be nice if somebody walks me there. And so Beth says, okay, I'll do that. And Russell goes, yeah, I'll go with you. And Mitch Berger, his friend, actually physically grabbed Russell, spun him around, and said, well, we're going in the hotel. So that is just oblivious.
Okay, so now I'm going to try to, let me phrase this question as tactfully as I can.